All right, so let's get into some voter fraud. Okay, this is interesting. Now, Jesse, I really do think the Democrats don't mind these stories. They might be reading this election going, oh, man, we might not do well. Let's have this in our hip pocket, right? But there seems to be a lot of stories. It is a little amazing, some of the news outlets that are reporting it. Let's start with this. Well, there's nothing wrong with Dominion voting machines, right? Right? Nothing at all wrong with it, except nationwide there's a problem. They say it's only for the ones dealing with disabled voters. Go to the C1, Dawson. This is from, is it the Secretary of State in Michigan, I want to say?
And, I also want to say, too, disabled voters, they take their votes very seriously. They're looking at these candidates and making sure that that their benefits are still going to be there, that they're going to be taken care of, that they're not going to be left out in the cold. So to say that those people especially don't deserve a vote, when they're looking at their votes as like a critical thing for their life, and, for the government and for Michigan to, let that slide while they let a Chinese student vote, it's a joke.
Yeah, I didn't even add that one to my list, by the way, because it's just a one-off. I try to avoid the one-offs, but yes, a Chinese immigrant, and they won't even let that vote. Yeah, they're going to count it.
Yeah, they said, we can't figure out which ballot it is. So
yeah, there's more stories than what we're going to present to you here.
I wonder who the Chinese student voted for.
All right, let's go ahead and play this clip here.
Issues with the programming of the VATs with specifically
Yes.
from Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that only caught in the past few days, and why can't it be fixed? I saw the release with the...
Yeah, this is a nationwide issue with Dominion voter access terminals in the counties that use them. And the voter access terminals, of course, not all the machines, just the ones that are accessible, have an issue with the straight party voting and a programming issue that's, again, affected the machines nationwide. And I think all of us that use Dominion machines were unhappy to learn about this during the testing period and as early voting began. So we're working with Dominion to seek accountability on that front, and also are working with our clerks to ensure voters are aware of this programming issue that will require them to ensure they are voting.
A programming issue, Jesse, a programming issue. Now, the interesting thing about programming issues is I didn't think they existed. I thought Dominion voting never has these issues, but apparently they do. Mm-hmm. These aren't like conservatives or Republicans saying this, right? Mm-hmm. This is pretty well documented at this point. They're having a nationwide issue. They're having trouble fixing it. And by the way, it could be just a complete error, but programming issues could be planned as well. Like, the thing that bothers the hell out of me is there's this good movie. It was a good Robin Williams movie. It was done, I want to say, early 2000s. He's basically playing Jon Stewart. He's a comedian who has a show. It's a newsy show. And then he decides that he's going to run for president as a third-party candidate. Why is the name of this movie slipping my mind right now? And he wins. Or they think he wins. Turns out there was a glitch in the voting software, and it was this massive corporation that was doing all of it. I mean, Dominion is like peanuts compared to what they're alleging in this movie, and it didn't even seem like it was intentional. It was just a mistake with the software, but the corporation found out about it, and to make sure that they don't get their butts kicked and lose all these contracts, they hide it. And so he's going to end up taking over the presidency when he really didn't win the vote.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Honestly,
there was something
in my mind right
when
now.
you were talking about that, it reminded me. I remember the 2020 Democratic primaries in Iowa. They had some app, and all of a sudden people find out that it's tied to all these Pete Buttigieg supporters. And then the app rigged it so that it appeared that Buttigieg won when it was really Bernie that had received more delegates or got more votes or whatever it was. So I mean,
that's right. It happens even on the Democrat side. I know, but of course, rigging against Bernie's fine.
Well,
Bernie's a little bitch, by the way. That guy's such a little bitch.
He totally caved on that.
He does every single one. He's a little bitch. Bernie Sanders is a little bitch. Can I just say that?
Yep.
My God, stand up, man. You get so screwed, and you just take it.
Yeah,
like a little bitch. All right, Whiskey Tango
he's
Fox
running for re-election.
I know. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot says Man of the Year. That's right. It's a great movie. Late Robin Williams. All right. Well, it's one thing to have a software glitch or voting system have glitches. It's a whole other thing to, when you're a government official, to openly, to the world on the internet, show the passwords for your voting systems. This is the C2 Dawson. This comes to us from the Colorado Secretary of State, who inadvertently posted a spreadsheet to the website with a hidden tab that included voting system passwords.
Was this that lady that got arrested for it?
No, that was like
a
some low-level county clerk. This is the Secretary of State's office. And by the way, if you know Colorado, this isn't a Republican. In a statement to 9 News, a spokesperson for the Colorado Secretary of State's office said that the department is working to remedy this situation where necessary. The department took immediate action as soon as it was aware of this and informed the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, which closely monitors and protects the county's essential security infrastructure, the spokesperson said. On Tuesday morning, Colorado Republican Party Vice Chair Hope Scheppelman shared the hidden tab discovery in a mass email, along with an affidavit from someone who claims they had to download the Excel file from the Colorado Secretary of State's website and discover the hidden tab by simply clicking unhide. The name on the affidavit was blacked out in the Republican Party email. I mean, I almost feel like they're trying to muddy up the system here.
Yeah.
The globalists are muddying up the system with things like this. I mean, this is a Democrat that releases it so that they can say when Trump wins Colorado. By the way, I don't know if he's going to win Colorado, but watch out, New Mexico. I said this. You know where Trump is right now? New Mexico. And by the way, let's pay attention to Virginia, too. Can we pay attention to Virginia? New Mexico and Virginia, okay? If I was
Virginia for sure.
Where's Trump right now?
He's increasing the popular vote.
He doesn't need the popular. If that's why he's doing it, then that's ridiculous. Because the popular vote doesn't matter. He's in New Mexico for a reason, Jesse.
There's something to it, though. I think there is something to trying to get energy in these blue states even too, because it's just to get people fired up, ready to vote, because this election's all about getting people out to vote.
I know, but getting people out to vote in battleground states.
Right, but
states that you can win. It makes no sense to put.
But anytime you visit a state, you're going to have people from the neighboring states coming to the rally too. Yeah. So he's giving a message to all. But
tell me what the swing state is around New Mexico?
Arizona.
Like east side of Arizona? Is that what I guess east side of Arizona. Where is? I guess I don't even know where the rally is.
Yeah,
I assume it's not
probably
near the Arizona border.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, but Albuquerque's not on the Arizona border.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go, Jesse. I'm telling you.
I
don't know.
Do you think that's why Kamala went to Texas? Because she's going to win Texas?
Basically what it seems to me is, as funny as it sounds, Kamala wants Joe Rogan to come to her, but apparently Beyonce gets the treatment. Kamala will go to Beyonce. It seems like it's as simple as Beyonce wanted to do it in Houston.
Do you think that Beyonce is more popular than Joe Rogan?
No.
Really? You don't think so?
It's hard to say. Different realms. Yeah,
it is different realms
for sure.
Well, I was thinking about this. Who is the most recognized name, the most popular person? Not just necessarily go ahead and go to that.
Oh yeah, 5-door Rumble Rant, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Jake, are those Trump voters behind you?
Well, they sure are. I got a bunch of garbage back here. We'll get into that in the last segment, but that's right. That's what we got in our background here. Trump has got to be the most recognized person on the planet, right?
I mean, yeah.
And he was very much close to that already before he ran. Let me quickly cover this here. Another one, because I got it in a show.
Is it maybe Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it the soccer player?
I can't imagine he's more popular than Trump.
I don't know.
But he's very popular, obviously, around the world. All right, the C3, we talked about this on Tuesday. 2,500 fraudulent ballots in Pennsylvania. Of course, when NPR has the news, which is state-sponsored media, it's only hundreds. But actually, in the article, and they quote the county attorney or whatever it was, 2,500 potential fraudulent ballots in one county in Pennsylvania alone. Then we go to this story. This is on Truth Hurts News. I wrote this story because I want to get this thing documented. This is so bizarre. A Northern Pennsylvania ABC affiliate shows a graphic while they're showing Formula One racing that says Kamala wins, and basically by a 5-point margin with 100% of the precincts reporting. Okay.
That one's gonna be cool.
I honestly, I'm not gonna say I believe this. Okay, I wanted to make sure this is marked historically, because if it comes up 52 to 47%, we're all gonna be like, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't believe this. Okay, but if it does,
what if Kamala wins it all?
Nah, I could see Kamala win in Pennsylvania. And by the way,
no way.
I definitely could, Jesse.
Way.
I definitely
For what?
could.
What about Kamala is in touch with Pennsylvania? What opinion does she have?
Do you think
Pennsylvania?
Do you think that she's at least getting 45% in Pennsylvania?
I don't know. I wouldn't
You
think
think
so.
the miss is that much on the polling?
Yeah.
Do you think she gets 40% in Pennsylvania?
Sure.
Well, then she's got something in common. 40% of Pennsylvania
No, she's
voters.
got the Democrats that are voting for it.
Well, that's not 40%. It's got to be some of the independents, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Anyhow, WNEP issued a statement. Test results for the upcoming November 5th general election mistakenly appeared on WNEP TV early Sunday evening during a broadcast of Formula One Mexico Grand Prix. Those numbers should not have been appeared on the screen, and it was an error by WNEP that they did. The numbers seen on the screen were randomly generated test results sent out to help the news organizations make sure the equipment is working properly in advance election night. Now, I think that story's plausible. The random, I don't know if that's... In fact, is it suggestive she's going to win? Should they be paying?
Why haven't we
Should they be filing with FEC for that campaign expense there?
Yeah. Why haven't we ever seen a randomly selected Trump victory out of these news agencies?
Yeah, Embauer says
it's almost like it was a mistake, and they said, "Oh no, how do we put that up on the screen? Let's cover for our mistake and say that it was random." These people are lying. They're rigging the election.
Embauer 44 says predictive conditioning. I don't know if I agree with that, Jesse. I don't know if I agree that this thing is rigged, but I'm just going to say if it's 52 to 47, and they actually put the count numbers on there, if it's that number, how do we not all go back and go, what the hell's going on here, right?
That's good because we have like 100% proof at the end of this. If it is 52-47 like that, then 100% for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, like the chances, what are the odds that would actually occur, that they show this a week in advance and it's the exact same number? The odds would have to be like 1 in a trillion, right?
More than that, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
so it's like,
numbers.
what's going on here, right? Now, I just don't think it's going to be the case, but I'm like, just in case. Just in case. And by the way, if they could do that, holy shit. Then, of course, I think a lot of you guys know the Supreme Court ruled in Virginia that the scrubbing of certain names, this is really interesting. So basically, Youngkin wants to get rid of these non-citizen voters. But if you look at a montage of the news stories on this, you probably haven't seen this, Jesse. U.S. Supreme Court rules Virginia can continue removing voters from rolls. AP News. Supreme Court's conservative justices leave in place Virginia's purge of, and then, of course, it just says voters. It's not until you get to SCOTUS blog where Supreme Court allows Virginia to remove suspected non-citizens from voter rolls. They don't want to talk about that. I mean, the New York Times straight up says, Supreme Court allows Virginia to purge 1,600 voters from registration rolls. Do you see what the media's doing here? They just leave out the headline the fact that these are non-citizens. They shouldn't be on there, right? They're like, well, look at this. Those damn conservative justices on the U.S. Supreme Court are getting rid of voters.
Yeah, I'd have to assume that Glenn Youngkin's trying to do the right thing and clean up the voter rolls, which he should. And, I didn't think that he should even abide by a federal judge, even if they said that, because I'd say, yeah, watch me. I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
Watch me. And, what are they really going to do about it? And, but, I understand there should be reasonable skepticism about removing people's names from voter rolls. We saw in Florida, the 2000 election, there was a lot of discrepancies there of people who thought they shouldn't have been removed, especially people that were eligible voters. And it was, eligible voters were removed from the voter rolls, which you don't want to see any of that. If people are putting in every effort to do that, they shouldn't have that right of theirs revoked. But that's a whole separate thing. I think that Glenn Youngkin is doing is probably the bare minimum of election integrity effort.
Jake, do you have the opinion that the election could be won by Kamala even if there's no cheating?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the data right now as it suggests.
There's already cheating, though.
The data as it suggests right now is this thing's razor thin. My gut says Trump's going to win. I think there's a bias in polls against Trump. Every time he's on the ballot, there's a bias against him. But I do believe that it's possible she wins. It just seems like the momentum, and I think there's comments that there's a big thing of TDS. And so how much does that come into play? Even though Trump is winning on the issues that are most important to people, does that overcome the fact that people can't stand Donald Trump? My theory is people are just silently going to vote for Trump because he's better for them than Kamala, and even though they dislike the guy, okay? But they dislike the guy half because the media's painted him a certain way. It's all lies. It's not all lies, but it's a lot of lies, right?
And I don't think they dislike him like they used to.
Yeah.
Lots of people are coming around, even Snoop Dogg. When Snoop Dogg came out and said, that Donald Trump's never done anything bad to me, he used to be a big-time anti-Trumper, and there's lots of people that I talk to, just regular people that just go, yeah, I hated Trump before, but now it's so obvious. And so, there were lots of people like that people are coming around.
Do you think that there's more people like that or more people that go after January 6th? I don't like Trump.
No, I think that
More people
number
are coming
dwindled.
to him than going against.
I think that was much hotter many years ago.
Is that like a vibe that we're feeling, or is that like?
No, I think I think a lot of people are not. I mean, there's well, here's the proof: is Kamala's not even talking about Jan 6 much anymore.
Mm-hmm. Didn't
like
she?
they ran on that for so long, and they're not talking about it right now, which means it's not playing well.
She just had a rally or whatever at the place where Trump was when January 6th happened, and she
had a rally on Washington D.C. and it wasn't where he did it; it was in front of.
It was in the Ellipse.
Okay, so that's a great segue into our final topic. Do we have two?